Hi, today we're going to be making the Crescent Moon Pillow 2.0. It's still no sew. It's very similar to the first moon pillow, except it's a little bit less curved. I'll insert a picture of what it looks like right here. All we're going to need to make this is some 6-weight bulky yarn. I like to do them in the ivory color, but you could do them in blue, gray. It would look really pretty in red or black. I've done blue and black and it is very pretty. I'm going to be using a 9mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors. I lost my yarn scissors, so I'm using these kitchen shears, and then a stitch marker. For round 1, we are going to put 5 single crochet inside of a magic ring. So make a magic ring, chain 1, put 5 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull the tail to close. If you want, you could also do a chain 2 and just work into the first chain, but I prefer to do magic rings. Here, let me zoom in a little. You're using a piece of string, you do this now, you just put it over the yarn, this part. You just put it over that and then you do your stitches normal. So we're going to put, for round 2, a increase into every stitch. So 2 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and you should end with a total of 10 stitches. Yes, I just threw my yarn ball on the floor. Does anyone else do that? I don't feel like unraveling it every time. I just rather throw it on the floor and just have it roll across the room. Does it make it easier? Probably not. Oh well. Alright, so that's round 2. There is a single crochet increase into every stitch around, and there should be a total of 10 stitches. Alright, for round 3, mark your first stitch. We're going to do another row of increases, or another round of increases. So 1 increase into every single stitch around, and there should be a total of 20 stitches. We are doing 10 increases this time because there was 10 stitches in the last row. All right, and now we should have 20 stitches. We're going to move the stitch marker up to the first stitch, and then in this row we're going to do 1 single crochet and then 1 increase, and repeat that all the way around. So 1 single crochet, 1 increase into the next stitch, 1 single crochet, and 1 increase. And you should end this round with a total of 30 stitches. So we are at our beginning stitch again. We're going to move our stitch marker up, and then in this round we are going to do 2 single crochet and then an increase. So 1, 2, and then an increase. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then an increase. And we're going to repeat this all the way around, and we should end with 40 stitches. We are back at the first stitch again. We are going to move our stitch marker up, and for this round we are going to do 3 single crochet and then increase. So 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. And you are going to repeat this all the way around. At the very end of the round, you should end with 50 stitches. All right, we are back to the first stitch of the round. We're going to move our stitch marker up. And in this round, we are going to do 4 single crochet and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. And you are going to repeat that all the way around, and you should end with 60 stitches. All right, we are back at the beginning of the round again, and if you notice, it's starting to get very wavy. That is a good thing. That means that it's working. So we're going to move our stitch marker up, and then we are going to do 5 single crochet and then increase all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase. And just repeat that all the way until you get back to your stitch marker. I'm pretty sure I forgot to say, but you should end that round with 70 stitches. All right, now for round 9, we're going to move our stitch marker up first, and then we are going to do 6 single crochet and then an increase all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an increase. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an increase. We're going to do this all the way around, and we will end this round with 80 stitches. We are at the beginning of the round again, and if you fold it in half, you'll see that it's starting to look like a little moon. If you just shape it a little bit. All right. And we are going to move the stitch marker up. And for this round, we are going to do 7 single crochet and then increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then an increase. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. 7 single crochet and then an increase all the way till you get back to your stitch marker. All right, now for the next round, we moved our stitch marker up, and we are going to do 4 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and then we are going to do 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and increase. And then we are going to repeat 8 single crochet and increase all the way around until we are at the last few stitches. Once you make your last increase, you don't have enough to do 8 more single crochet, I will meet you there. So don't repeat the 4 single crochet, just repeat 8 single crochet, increase all the way around. You should have 4 more stitches left once you make your last increase. So we're just going to 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochet. And then that should leave you with a total of 100 stitches. And then we are going to move the stitch marker up. And we're just going to single crochet all the way around. Just 1 single crochet in each stitch. No increases, no decreases. All the way around until we reach our stitch marker. We have single crocheted all the way around. This is what it should be looking like, big and floppy. But if you fold it in half, you can see the moon shape. We're going to fix this after. But it's so cute. All right, so we are at the very end of our pillow. Now we're just going to fold this in half, lay it flat, make sure where your hook is attached is at the very top, and then we are going to single crochet both sides together. So we're going to insert our hook into this next loop or this next stitch, and then back into the last stitch that we just made. So we're single crocheting both sides together. And then we're going to yarn over, pull through both stitches, yarn over, and pull through. And then we're going to do that all the way down. So find the next stitch on the front side, find the next stitch on the back side, pull through both, and single crochet. Front stitch, back stitch, pull through both, and single crochet. Make sure your stitches are nice and tight. Front stitch, back stitch, pull through both, and single crochet. We're going to do this all the way until about the middle point, and then that's when we'll start stuffing. All right, now that we're at the middle point, we're going to start stuffing. So just open it up and start to put your stuffing in. Whether you're using actual like polyester stuffing or old clothes or scrap yarn, anything works really well to use up and fill up this pillow. We're just going to stuff it as much as we can, but we don't want any fibers up here at the very opening that we're at, because we don't want to accidentally stitch the stuffing into the stitches. Sorry. My baby just woke up from his nap, so if you hear grunting, that's what that is. All right, we stuffed it halfway, and we are just going to continue to single crochet down until we get about right here, like right there. All right, we have reached the next point to where we're going to stuff some more. You just don't want to get too close to the end and not have enough room to be able to stuff the middle. Make sure you really put it down in there. You want to keep this nice and like that, nice and full. All right, that is looking good for now. We're going to fix this later. Basically, you just take something sharp and poke it in, almost like your, I think it's called needle felting, but it helps shape it very well. All right, now we're just going to single crochet until we only have a few stitches left, like 5 stitches left. We only have a few stitches left, and we're going to shove as much stuffing in here to fill it up as we can. So really just force it in there. You want this pillow to be nice and big and stuffed, because that will give it more of a, like, I guess, closer to a half moon shape compared to the original crescent moon pillow tutorial that I posted. All right, that looks good. Now we're just going to single crochet these last few stitches together. And I'll just go ahead and do that with you. So again, front loop, front stitch and back stitch, single crochet together. And then this last one is a little bit tricky. Just go front stitch and back stitch, pull this so you can actually get your hook through without snagging any yarn. And then single crochet. I'm gonna put one more inside the same stitch. So an increase in the very last stitch, just to give it a little bit more of a point, like the hoops on this side. All right, and now that's your pillow. It's so cute. I love it so much. It's very similar to the other pillow, but it's like a little bit less curved, a little bit more of a half moon. So now we're just going to cut our yarn, pull it through, tighten it up, and then weave it in. All right, and there's our pillow all finished. For this little bump, maybe this is a little bit risky, but I like to just take my scissors. Usually I have my yarn scissors, which have a pointier point, but I just kind of poke it, kind of like your needle felting, I guess. Now you can just shape it a little bit, spread out that stuffing. And yeah, there's your pillow. It's so cute. I love this pattern so much. I love the original moon pillow pattern too, which I'm going to be redoing because I didn't really know how to write patterns back then. So I'm gonna be posting like an updated one with stitch counts and stuff, which I'll also leave all the written instructions and stitch counts on the screen in this video. But yeah, that's your pillow.